107.5 WBLS, your number one source for R&B.
Let me tell you something. Today, I get a little bit smarter because I get to speak to a child genius. I'm sure if you've been watching the show, Child Genius, The Battle of the Brightest on Lifetime, then you know this guy already. He's 10-year-old Chancellor Gary. Give it up. Hello, you are looking mighty dapper. I'm sorry I didn't dress up a little bit more for you. So how are you? Welcome to New York City.
Thank you. I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm good. So what do you like most about New York? Have you been here before? You've been here before.
Yes, I've been here before. I just like the whole big city vibe here.
Yeah?
It's not, you don't really get the same thing in Florida.
No, nah. New York is a little different. What do you have to do when you come to New York? Like, you have to go where?
I have to get one of the pretzels.
Oh, you like the pretzel from the street?
Yeah.
Oh, you're pretty simple.
Or a hot dog from the stand.
Really? Yep. Wow. And joining us is his proud mommy, Taylora, who's also somewhat of a native New Yorker. She actually came here to work on Wall Street after graduating. And so she's here to tell us a little bit about her wonderful son. I know everybody thinks that their son is or daughter is a genius, including myself. I went and bought the little colored blocks, and my daughter had no interest whatsoever. So I think what I want to ask you first and foremost is, do you think it's something that you're born with or it's a learned ability, so that we can clear the air on what a lot of people think?
I think it might be a little bit of both. I don't know. I don't know. But I know that with Chance in particular, I noticed it right away.
And what did you notice?
And that was before I was doing anything. So that did make me feel it was innate, you know. But then as he, you know, was getting older, I felt compelled to help push him and to really give him as much enrichment as possible, because I could tell he had this gift. And so I do think a lot of it, because if I hadn't done that,
right,
I don't know what would have happened. Maybe it would,
not have blossomed.
Right,
as
not
much,
have blossomed. Maybe
yeah,
it wouldn't have been as noticeable at a certain point in time. I'm not sure. But I definitely think with nurturing, it grows greater.
Right. So you're saying if you see something, and what in particular did you see? Did you see the ability to speak early?
I saw the ability to speak early, but I think I had that. He was my first child, so speaking early.
You didn't know what early was,
I didn't
right?
know what early was. I had nothing to compare.
Right.
Against, so that really wasn't the signal for me. It was more so the questions he would ask. He would ask such insightful questions that it kind of blew my mind. And at some point, that's when I started talking to people, saying, you know, he's asking me, you know, about science, but in a deeper level. He's asking me to explain that certain things would come on. He'd be so captivated by it and ask me to, you know, show him more. And so that I definitely felt wasn't normal. Right. And so at that point, I started to really look into it.
He's checking the microphone to see if it mutes out. I'm loving to watch. Ever since he walked in, he's just been so inquisitive. And I guess that is exactly the type of things that Taylora is talking about, you know, looking out for when you see a child who is constantly engaged with something. You know, maybe you might want to look at, I mean, not every child is a child genius, but like I like to say, you know, we have kids with high IQs, we have kids with high DQs, determination quotient. You know, there's kids, high CQs, compassionate quotient. Right. You know, just look and see what it is that they're interested in and feed that.
I was going to say, follow the passion.
Yeah.
He had a passion for learning.
Yeah.
That was definitely clear.
And it's
from the
very
beginning.
clear today. So I want to know from you, Chancellor, what do you think is your biggest, or who is your biggest challenge on the show?
I think Adrian is going to be my biggest challenge of the show. No offense to any of the other competitors that listen to this. But the reason being because he was always the one that felt like he wanted to win the most. of all our competitors.
Is that the only one you're really worried about?
I'm worried about 3 people in particular: Adrian, Claire, and Arnav. Because have you seen a previous episode? You've seen that Arnav was crying because he got 9 out of 10.
And how would you have reacted? Had you gotten 9 out of 10? Would you have cried too?
I would feel a little disappointed, but I would still be happy that I got 9.
That's a
out of 10.
wonderful way to view things, because I know, when you are a child with such an ability, it can be quite disappointing. When you've done so well for so long, you tend to expect to do well. So when you don't, it might have an effect like it had on him. So I'm proud that, you've learned to look at things that way. I heard about the 52 cards in the deck that you had to memorize.
Well, technically there are 54 if you include the jokers, and 55 if you include the card that.
Did they? But they didn't include that, did they? Did they include those?
No, they didn't include jokers or the card that just comes with the deck that you buy.
So it was 52 cards, and you had to memorize the order in which they were.
Yes, that's correct. And I think we had to do suits. Is it suit or suite? Suits and numbers / faces.
What do you do for fun?
Well, I play video games a lot.
Do you?
Yeah, occasionally I play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend named Alex who lives up the street. Sometimes I go over to his house, and I have another friend named Josh. He lives in the kind of the opposite end, but still in the same street and neighborhood. We play on Xbox sometimes.
Right. And you play basketball. Are you a big basketball fan? Do you watch the NBA, the All-Star game? Did you watch that?
Yeah, my favorite team is the Bulls, and my favorite player is Michael Jordan. Really?
Have you ever had a chance to reach out to him? Because he has a restaurant here. We could just, speak to the people. This is the wonderful thing. We speak to at least 4 million people at once. So if you could say something to Michael Jordan, what would you say?
I would love to meet you, and I just wanted to commend you for being, in my opinion, the best basketball player of all time.
Oh. And also, I know you want to be a video game developer. So this would be a great platform to speak to some of those video game developers out there who could help you along. So what would you say to them?
I don't think Toby Fox has a studio himself, but I'll love to work with him because he made Undertale, which has to be at least in my top 5 favorite games of all time. I probably could go on, but I'm taking too long.
No, but we get it, and there are people out there who are just as passionate about video games, so they know exactly what you're talking about. Me as a mom, don't quite know, but there is somebody out there you've connected with, and hopefully you've connected with a developer who might reach out to you and say, hey, I didn't know that, you, a 10-year-old, had an interest in creating video games. Chancellor Gary, y'all, Lifetime tonight, every Thursday, as a matter of fact. And you can join him at WBLS.com for WBLS Genius Jeopardy.